Well, here we are, third time's the charm. If you haven't seen video number 1 and video number 2 on sickle-bar mowing, I recommend you check it out. This is number 3. We made some changes. Let's see how it worked. Alright, here we are again for part 3, and I want to thank the people out there that gave us some tips, and I just want to give you a general overview. There's a lot to learn about these mowers, and what we found out about this mower is that it's kind of been pieced and parted together over the years. It's a Massey Harris, which was built probably between 1920 and 1930, but that bar right there is a John Deere bar. So at one point somebody switched it out, and so I've got some international parts on here now. And you have to kind of tweak things to make it work. But we got some good pointers to tweak things. And I'll start off, first of all, we started with this lift mechanism, the hand lift and the foot lift. Very important out in the field. It's used quite a bit, especially in turns and getting out to the field and things like that, so you want it to work properly. Had to make an adjustment to the foot lift here so that it would actually lift. It was running into the bar. And then I adjusted the spring, make it a little tighter to give it a little bit more lift. It had stretched out quite a bit and it really wasn't helping much. I pulled this handle out because Danielle was pinching her hand here between the handle and the seat quite a bit. Also, as you drive, this thing flops around. As you can see, it bangs into your kidney. So that's one of the things that we had to kind of adjust outward. Some more parts down there and lubrication to free things up. There are a few things that I'm going to have to do later on in the winter, like the drag beam there. I'm going to have to pull that forward a little bit because the sickle bar sits back a little bit too much, but I've got to break that free, and that's a lot of work. The other thing is, and you might have noticed from the other video, this was standing more upright. I had not adjusted that yet because it was frozen. I had to cut the bolt off. But now I've got it down in the position it should be, because this grass board or the swath board should be basically pushing this cut grass into the inside to give a clear path for the inner shoe to travel along the new cut area. And that's important because if you remember from video number 1, we had a lot of clogging. Now let me show you what else I did down here. This bar we put on in the second video, and this guard basically pulls the grass in back to the cutter bar. I also had to replace a ledger plate down there, and that seemed to work quite well. So those 3 changes, first the grass board, and then the ledger plate and this bar, we don't think we're going to get nearly the clogs that we got last time. Last but not least is the actual tongue here. If you remember from the second video, this did not articulate up very much. But what we did was I shaved off the bottom of it, and now, especially when you're on a hill, it comes up a lot further. And so now those horses can go up and down the hill, and it keeps the load on that tongue truck instead of on the neck of the horses. So that's a great improvement. I think the horses are going to love it. So let's head out to the field and check to see how it works. Okay, I wanted to kind of show you here on this swath, right on the inside. So that board is supposed to push the grass and leave a clear spot, and it's doing a pretty good job. It's probably hard to see on the video, but it's actually doing a good job of leaving a nice clear path for that inner shoe to ride on the next pass. So definitely have the grass board set correctly this time, and no clogging either, so it's very nice.
This is certainly working a lot smoother than it has in the past. I think we're just about there. Obviously it's tough to stay on a path without good pasture grass growing, so we're going to be spending this fall actually plowing this area up and seeding it for true pasture for hay making. The hay hasn't been our priority this summer, just fixing the equipment has. So we're going to get this field renovated, and hopefully next year we'll be able to get a good crop of hay. But since I'm hitched up, I think I'm just going to spend the next little bit mowing down these weeds. Get up, girl.
Well, I'd call that a successful day. We were really happy with how things worked, and we weren't making hay today, we were making memories. Really, we're trying to get that sickle-bar mower working, and so some of the fields we went through, you might have noticed it was like 2 inches of grass and weeds and things like that. We're going to do a lot of work this season to try to build a good hay field, probably do some planting, maybe a cover crop this fall, and next year it should be good. But I'd say overall that was a big success. We didn't have any clogs, except at one point Danielle noticed a change in the noise, and she stopped, and baling wire was wrapped around the bar. This is something about, you know, these pastures, you got to keep them clean. Sticks, rocks, baling wire. I don't know how long this has been there. I don't know even where it came from, but boy, that really dulled up those blades, and I'm going to have to sharpen those up, so got to watch for that stuff. But we're excited about next season. I think we're going to make our own hay if we can get a side delivery rake and make this thing happen. Well, thanks again for watching. We love learning here at Redgate Farm, and we hope that we can share some of that knowledge with you. If you want more detailed knowledge of what we're doing and aspects of how we do things, visit our Patreon site. You can see the link below.